So there, what you can do is you can just have the flanger on the high strings. Blind, but I can see the snowflakes glisten on the tree. pedals. So I'm using a Behringer Ultra Octaver and an Arian stereo flanger. Mike's playing in D. Yeah, so I've been playing that for quite a while. Noisiest thing, there's the soft tech with the rat pedal. Yeah, so I made this just last week because I wondered if it would work, and it does. So these pickups, as you can see, are a bit el squinty. So this one basically just picks up the 3 bass pickups and the 3 bass strings, and this one picks up the 3 treble strings. They are both wired up of how to make it easy. There's 2 modes. There's a switch on it. 2 modes. One is normal. I'm calling it normal, which basically gives you these 2 pickups. There's the Telecaster switch here. So these 2 pickups on the neck position, all 3 pickups in the middle position are just a bridge humbucker on its own, and that goes out the regular output. So that's it in normal mode. If you put the switch up, these pickups no longer go to this switch, they now go to their own volume control and then out this stereo output jack. So they've got a volume control each and a stereo output. And then what you need for that is a thing called an insert lead, which is this. I've only got 2, one of them is about 30 metres long, one of them is this long, which is dead annoying. So basically it's a stereo jack on that end and 2 monos on that end. And so you run it into this. I've made this so if you don't have a stereo lead but you've got 2 guitar leads, you can run, if you run the centre point as the bass pickup, so you can still, if you don't have a splitter lead, you can still play the guitar through the main output, and you can stick it into the bass amp or into some sort of effects unit. I really just messing about there. I put a flange, which I've never used pedals. I put flange on coming out this amp on the thin strings just so you could hear what it was doing. The bass I've got coming through one of these. It was very cheap, and to be honest I was completely unimpressed with it when I got it, but it's actually working quite well today. Just an octave pedal into the wee bass amp. Yeah, you're not obviously getting the full scope here. I'm getting it in surround sound, so you can kind of set it up to different things. I'm not sure this amp probably not. You probably might not be able to hear that because it's not pointing at the camera. Be interested to see what it sounds like. So basically, that's my surround sound guitar, which I'll probably just play with for a couple of weeks and then sell on Facebook or Gumtree or eBay or something. Yeah, so I got this in the Barras. I put an Esquire scratch plate on it, cut it a wee bit to fit, put pickups at stupid angle. Yes, it does have a Les Paul neck on it. I had a strap, well, it came without a neck when I got it, and I put a strap on it, and none of them really looked that impressive. And it didn't quite look right, so I measured it, and it's actually for the 24 3/4 inch scale. This guitar was meant to have, because it's got the tremolo, you can't just move the bridge, so but as soon as I put the Les Paul neck on it, I thought, yep, that's just horrible enough. It's got Duesenberg tuners on it as well. From my parts box, bought one neck, says Squire on it just because that's one of the ones I had lying about. I do have the back plate, just haven't put it on yet. That's how it's wired if you're ever interested. Not particularly difficult, so you've just got the mode switch there, A volume for each. That's the volume for this pickup, that's the volume for this pickup. When it's going to this jack, they don't do anything when you're in normal mode. When you're in normal mode, you just get a master volume and a three-way switch, which gives you, as I said, bridge, all the pickups, just those two. Which is quite interesting in its own right anyway, because you're hearing sort of, it's picking the bassy end of the bassy strings and the thin end of the thin strings. Yeah. So, I don't think there's really much else to say about this. It's playing pretty well. I'm going to cut the nut a wee bit better. I've still not got it. I've not got it playing exactly the way I like it yet.